Hey everybody, and welcome to episode 111 of the Building a Law Firm podcast. I'm your host, Christopher Small, and I am super pumped and excited to be here with you today. First things first, if you have not signed up for and watched my new free webinar, you need to go watch it, okay? I talk about basically the three secrets or the three sort of driving factors behind my ability to create what I'm calling my lifestyle law firm, right? Work less, 25 to 30 hours a week, make great money, have great clients, basically have time to do the things that I want to do in my law firm and out of my law firm, right? Be a T-ball coach, play golf every Friday, all these kinds of things, okay? If you are interested in how I've been able to do that, then like I said, put together free training. I'm doing it live every Thursday, pretty much every Thursday. And to check that out, you just go to buildingalawfirm.com/lifestyle. Okay, so go check it out. Don't wait. It's pretty awesome. And the things that I talk about there are literally the three biggest things, the three biggest secrets to my success and the way that I've been able to build this thing up. And right now it's freaking awesome. So I want you to join in that. I want you to have an opportunity to sort of partake in that, all right? So now let's talk about what we're here to talk about today, which is something that, so it's kind of funny, I had these conversations throughout the week with people, other law firm owners, sort of via some of the coaching that I do, and then just with some other buddies of mine, and we always talk about such interesting things, and I never know where the conversation is going to go, and then I get to talk about it here, sort of talk about what I've learned, the lessons that I've gleaned, some of the strategies that I pick up. And you know, one of the things I can tell you that I talk about the most with, whether it's with my law firm owner buddies or my law firm owner students or my other sort of business owner buddies, or anybody that I talk to that's doing things, achieving things, you know, we talk about mindset all the time. And one of the things, though, that I talked about yesterday with somebody was pricing. And although I led in with an intro about mindset, this podcast actually isn't about mindset, which is gonna be funny. But it's really about strategy. This one, it's more actually trying to get into the mindset of the client, right? Of the potential client, of the customer, whatever you want to call them, or the person that you're going to be helping, so that you can price your services right. If you have never heard me talk about pricing before, to give you a little bit of background, I don't bill by the hour. I hate it. I think it's stupid, and I think it puts you in direct conflict with your clients. I don't think it's a good reflection of the value that you're providing. Just consider that the more experience that you get, the better you get at what you do, the faster you get at what you do, the more efficiently you can spot issues in analysis and fix problems, the less money you make. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, yeah, I can charge a higher hourly rate, but you're still capped by that. You know, if a 15-minute solution saves someone $1 million, would you still be happy with taking, you know, a quarter of an hour of your time for that payment or for that work? Probably not, because the value there is immense. So I don't like hourly billing for that reason. It also chains you to your desk, right? There's one of the reasons I can play golf on Friday. One of the reasons I can leave early to go to T-ball, one of the reasons I can take time to record this podcast episode is because, you know, while I'm doing this right now, I don't feel like I'm losing money. I don't feel like opportunities are being lost because I'm not tied to the clock. You know, an hour not spent working on a client file is not an hour not billed for me, like it is for a lot of you. And, you know, you may think that that's great right now, you're making good money. In 5 years, when you can't get up from your desk and you really, really want to, you're gonna wish that you had listened to me and come up with a way to price your services that doesn't require hourly billing, either for you or for your associates or your paralegals or anybody. You know, it seems to make economical sense in the moment, but what it really does is hamstring you and limit your ability to sort of exponentially increase the money that you make, okay? And do the things that you want, because that's one of the things that we're talking about here today is time. So now that we have that context to know that I don't do hourly billing, I was having a conversation with an attorney client of mine, right? One of my coaching people, and he was asking me about how to price a sort of a one-off kind of an estate plan. There are just some, you got your basic estate planning, your basic revocable trust, your basic credit shelter trust. Not to get too in the weeds, but then you have some other things that other people want. IRA trust, for example, ILIT, right? There's these GRIT. There's all these different acronyms for this stuff, but these things are sort of more one-off. They're more custom in many ways. And we were talking about how to price that service because he had a client that he thought needed it, and he was just looking to sort of have a discussion about how he should price that service. And it's really funny because we went through the gamut of pricing and how I price my services, how he prices his services, and we talked a lot about some of the stuff I just talked about. Where for me, I'm trying to impart value on my clients. I really want to get paid. I want my clients to leave feeling like they got the better end of the deal, and me feeling like I got the better end of the deal, quite frankly. It feels great for both of us. The value for the money they paid, they feel like it's there. So as we were talking about this, one of the things with estate planning, and this may be true for you in what you do as well, or it may not, but I think no matter what, this will give you a good context for pricing your services. What we were talking about with this specific trust that he wanted to create was that most of the benefit was in the future. Okay, so it was really going to benefit the client's children. It was going to benefit their ability to sort of live a great life and do these things. And as we got through it, as we sort of talked this out, I realized that pricing services based on future value like that is very difficult, right? And the reason for that is that it's just not tangible for the client. And the way that I try to think about this is twofold. I just try to think about like I did just now, right? Just objectively, just like what does it really feel like? And what is it really like? The other way that I like to do it though is I like to put myself in the client's shoes. I like to imagine that I'm the client. And I say to myself, am I gonna wanna pay for this service, for this thing? And I found myself really saying no a lot of the times when we were talking about pricing. And for some things, but I found myself saying yes for other things. And the ones that I really found myself saying yes to were the ones where the benefit, the payoff for the client was immediate. It was tangible. They could see it, they could feel it, they knew it was there, and they could tell it was happening right now. And when you have those kinds of services, then it's possible, I think, to charge more, right? Because they can feel the value. For example, when somebody does a credit shelter trust in Washington State, there's estate taxes, so you can do some trust planning that will basically save a married couple $240,000, just like that, okay? And they know that that's going to be saved, and it's immediate, and it's like real, okay? That is a service that people are willing to pay for because they can see the benefit right there, so that is priced one way. Now, if you're doing something where you're like, okay, you're going to protect your kids in the future after you're dead, it could potentially save you some money, but you're going to make sure your kids are sort of taken care of with some of this other money that you have, well, that's less tangible. There's no real way to put a dollar amount on that. People want to believe that their kids are going to be responsible, do the right thing anyway, right? These kinds of things. So although there's a tremendous benefit to that kind of planning, the price is going to have to reflect the value perceived by the client, not the value perceived by you in this sort of alternate universe of goodness. Now, sort of take that against a different kind of one-off trust where they're going to get like an immediate income tax savings of, depending on what they put into this trust, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. So when they can see that, they're going to be much more willing to pay. Let's say someone's going to spend or save $100,000 like this year, boom, right? They probably would be willing to spend $5-10 grand on that because they can see the savings are immediate, right? So when it comes to pricing your services and thinking about value in that context, which I think is really important. One of the, people sometimes say, oh, I do flat fees. I like to base my prices on value. And then you ask them, okay, well, how do you break that down? And they go, well, it takes me an hour to do this. It takes me 2 hours to do that. So I kind of just add it all up. And that's not the way to do it, right? That's not true value-based pricing. That is just hourly billing put together into one lump sum. So when you're talking about and thinking about value, you really need to think about what's it truly worth to the client at that time in terms of them. What would they be willing to pay for this thing that you're giving them? When you can put a number on that, and it's a number that works with you and still allows you to eat, then you've hit that sweet spot, right? That middle spot, that's really great. So for me, when it comes to my pricing at this point in time for my firm, I'm not necessarily trying to increase my prices. I think the opportunities that I give my clients and the service that I provide them is tremendous with regard to the money that they pay, right? But I don't think in their mind the value gets much bigger as I increase the price, if that makes sense. So if I increased the price $1,000, I don't think many clients would see $1,000 worth of value in there, even though I know that it's actually in there, right? The key is, okay, the phone rang, sorry, we'll come back and I'll wrap this up. The key thing to remember is that you have to go as high as the client's willing to go. You can't make them go higher than they want. You can't force them to do anything, and you can't push them to do things that they don't want to do, okay? The market doesn't lie, right? Okay, we're gonna try this one more time. I'm splicing all these together though, by the way, so you can see how this really works. And my audio just has died too, so we're gonna go with the phone audio, so it won't be bad. But anyway, you can't make people, the market doesn't lie, right, is what I was trying to say. I was kind of trying to wrap up. You can't tell the market what they want. They tell you what they want, right? So you do your best job of explaining the benefits, of explaining the value, and then they get to decide if your value proposition is something that jives with their belief system. If it doesn't, then you have to adjust. If it does, if they're saying yes all the time, maybe you do want to go up because maybe your perceived value is a little bit low for what they're seeing. So it's always sort of a test, right? You're always testing to see what it is. But anyway, I just wanted to share this sort of insight on how I price, and really, it got broken down with this conversation that I had yesterday, and I thought it was a really great way to sort of put it into words and really demonstrate how you should go about evaluating your pricing structure and or thinking about pricing new products. All right, so that's it. Christopher Small, Building a Law Firm, CMS Law Firm. Remember, if you want to catch that free training, the 3 secrets, go to buildingalawfirm.com/lifestyle and check that out. All right, until next time.